Howdy doodly doo. Right, we're going to do some Guernsey walks now. We're going to start them off. I've done these over the years, but I've never really got them on footage. So it'd be nice to look back on them over the coming years and see what adventures we had. We're going to start off on the northwest. I'm going to do some more of the northwest, but this will be a short one because I've just finished work. And I'll show you a couple of the bays, sandy bays, rocky outcrops. We've got that lovely inshore breeze. It's nice and choppy, plenty of white surf everywhere. And we'll show you around some of the old landfill site, which is okay. It's not the most glamorous place, but it's we've got to show you everything that's on the island and how we work. So let's carry on. That's a bit random. Somebody seems to have dumped a load of biscuits down here. Biscuits and sugar. That's one of the weirdest sort of fly tippings I've ever seen. But each their own. God, that wind is strong now. Look at that lovely evening. That sun's kicking out. There's so many little channels around here, little paths. But I always hark back to my fishing days because it's you've got so many good little areas around here, little rocks, little gullies. I'll just take a little trip across the rocks, surrounded by rocks. A pair of blackbacks there messing about. Yeah, it's really good around here. Really choppy today, but lovely gullies. Just an angler's paradise around here. Angling, mountain biking, walking, whatever you want to do. And there's Alderney over there in the distance. I think you might be able to see if you zoom in. I can only just make it out. And over that way is America, North America, South America. So we get some big rough seas coming in, as you can imagine, because you literally just got the Atlantic and then here, so can get pretty choppy in the winter. All right, let's continue south. This is a cracking little bait for bass fishing around here. I like, and bream fishing as well, actually. Bream and even pollock in the evening. You may as well creeps in. Long nose, mackerel. Bit of a nondescript bay, really, but got loads of little gullies. I've had some nice evening and early morning sessions down here. You've got a slipway that runs out through the middle of the bay there, but it's really slippery when it gets low tide. Trying to walk to the end of that thing, you kind of go onto the rocks. You get a lot of potters over here as well, the crab pots. But I've had some good sessions down here. And then just over to the left, this is actually, it's probably not the best walk really for the first one to stick on old Tally-O Go, but we've got the old island tip. A lot of stuff's buried over here, so we do have some recycling, but a lot of stuff ends up being buried in the ground. And so you can see that massive hill over there is the remnants of quite a few years of working, but they are looking to expand that behind, make another hole to fill, fortunately. But population increase and everything else, unfortunately, you've got to put it somewhere. You can't recycle everything. Right, let's start heading around this bay. Right on the other side of this bay now, nice little path that goes around the outside. Just over here is a little little viewing area for the bay, a little, like, I don't know, wildlife, bird spotting area, general viewing out to sea. I mean, there's no islands out there for a long way, but I suppose people can see the seabirds and the odd fisherman clambering across the rocks. It's like a little hide dug into the ground. And then we come round to the next bay. That sun's lovely at the moment. It's kind of a little taster walk, this one, because I've just finished work, so sort of a shorter one, but show you a couple of the bays anyway on the northwest of the island. There's a bit of the bank that they've been building on the tip there, a lot of wood, machinery, a bit industrial, but you know, good cycling round here though. I like it. Lovely cracking little bay this as well for getting the bass and the mackerel and lots of other species that come in. So hopefully you'll see plenty of that in my variety of videos. Lots of fishing, lots of cycling, lots of walking. A bit of foraging I like to do in the summer because I haven't got any waders and the water's a bit cold at the moment for the shorts, so that'll have to be the summertime. But you get lobsters, crabs, shellfish, all sorts. You can have a meal for tea for what you can find on the shoreline. A lot of people never realise you get so many dog walkers over here walking across the beaches, but quite often they'll walk past a lobster that's hiding under a rock and they won't even know it's there. They could have had their tea instead of going to the market and spending extortionate amounts of money on lobster. They probably walk past it. As long as you're careful though and you measure them right, you get the right sizes. Don't want to be taking undersized lobsters. That's definitely not a good thing to do. You want to make sure they've got a good future. But we'll have a walk around that headland you can see over there, and we'll take us to the next bay. where those diggers are over there, and in the background, that's where they're starting to dig the new hole for the next stage. Obviously, that's getting quite full now over there, and they're leveling it off, trying to make it sort of put grass seed over it and make it look a bit more natural again. But over here is kind of the second stage, so they've gone a bit more inland. It's the first time I've seen this actually. So that's getting towards the bay on the other side of the island, so that's interesting. Right, let's continue. What a lovely jet up there. Cracking evening. I can't see a cloud anywhere in the sky. Lovely. I think we've got this literally, 10 minutes from my work, the other side of the island. I mean, if you haven't got a lot of traffic, nowhere over here takes that long. You might have seen from the red sign we went past a minute ago, but over there is actually a firing range. And you can see there's nothing in the way but sea, but obviously we'll have, when they do have firing on, they'll have red flags which are at either end to warn people, dog walkers, cyclists, whatever, not to venture down here when the red flags are out. I think it's a bit of an observatory as well over there because there's lots of radars and unusual things, but you can see it's pretty windy at the moment. And down here, you'll see these a lot on our walks, is a German bunker from the obviously Second World War, well, I don't know if it was 1939 onwards. They started building these, but they obviously decided with Churchill and his gang coming across that to France, that Channel Islands are obviously an area in between the islands and France and the UK. So the Germans swiftly made sure they occupied the islands. Guernsey here is one of them, so there's lots of concrete German bunkers left around the island, looking out to sea and looking out to defences, but they're all scattered all over the coastline. Every single coastline has got these bunkers everywhere, some big, some small. This one's kind of built into the bank. You'd hardly really notice it. I think it was a big old smooth rock. But yet they enforce themselves, and even the tiny little islands we've got, Sark and things, they obviously had people on those just keeping an eye. No one was sneaking in the back door, as they say, there were a couple of attempts, but you'll if you search for that, especially Sark, there were some invaders some British commandos, I believe, that invaded Sark at night and managed to get some of the Germans, but yeah, I think it was swiftly over after obviously a couple of years, and then the islands were liberated, and we slowly got them back, which we celebrate in May every year, the island liberation. They have a big parade. I'll be away for this one, unfortunately, but certainly in the future you'll see cavalcades, flags, celebrations, etc. But yeah, so now we're that's looking towards the south now. It's a long way away, the south coast, because we're sort of right up in the northwest. There's a lovely big bay here, and we'll just carry on walking round. So as you can see, I've just come around the corner because here's a significant German bunker that was built. So obviously that one over there is a little lookout to sea kind of smaller defence, and this must have been one of their main kind of areas. They probably had a massive gun emplacement on the top, probably machine guns and things. That was probably one of the main access doors. And then you've got a little sign here. It kind of explains everything. You can see there actually in one of the pictures how big some of those forts get. Massive. Old German build quality was always top notch. Yeah, they've got the old shooting down in the high. They obviously reused it, reclaimed it, but yeah, these things won't go away. They're just on the landscape for a long time. You'll see here, this is behind me one of the significant Martello Towers. They call them Martello Towers over here. And a lot of companies advertising uses the Martello Tower as a symbol of the island. But this is quite a structure. Lots of lookout points, again, over a bay, just in case somebody's sneaking in the back door. And then over here we've got Chue Bay, which is a really nice, it's mainly sort of sandy bay. The tide's right in, so there's no one on the beach today, although that wind is quite cold, so it's put the bathers off. But it's usually you can get away if you've got that not strong northwesterly breeze. You can usually get away with coming into here, and it's quite calm. A couple of little fishing boats and mooring up there. Love to go out. Nice little island that you can walk around in the middle there, but you can just see the stones sticking out at the moment. But all of this area is really quite sandy, and I've had some cracking sessions on the kayak out here, and again the fishing along here can be really good, bass and all sorts of different things. Just a massive bay, really, pretty safe as well, safe for the children. You know, if you've got an incoming tide, it's usually pretty uniform. You know, obviously it gets deeper as you creep out, but it's pretty uniform, and you haven't really got too many obstacles to get caught in. You get a lot of windsurfers as well coming through here, because obviously the width of the bay and the breeze can run through. And you got another big bay across the side there with lots of other boats. But yeah, it's just quite a nice big sheltered old bay. Get a lot of seals that come in here sometimes, that can follow the swimmers around. Big swimming club on the island. Likes to do a lot of sea swimming. So yeah, now we've got the lighter evenings, I'm sure this place is going to be really busy come the summertime. All dog walkers are on there now, so I mean it's perfect for walking the dogs around here. Nice and pretty safe little island, really. Tanker back in the day that had a big oil leak that was just offshore, and to try and save obviously the wildlife and the sea from getting covered in oil, they a long time ago pumped it all straight across into this disused quarry, so it wasn't going to leak out. It was fully secure inside, and it quickly got it out away from the sea off the boat, and saved a lot of the marine life. Quick thinking, really, but it's still obviously sitting here probably more than 20 years later. we're looking north over there, back over towards Alderney, and across further behind that is obviously the English south coast, the English Channel over that way, and that's in the distance you've got the Landcrest and Pembroke Bay, really big bay, really good for the families, for the children. Good safe bay, it doesn't go too deep, it's full of sand, nicely sheltered a lot of the time. And then we've got all the headland here. And then the other side of that Chue Bay, all the cars can park, and then obviously further around, lovely sand there. That tide's dropping already. It's very quick over here. Spring tides can be really high, really low, and they can be fast moving, so you've got to be careful. Always check your tides. What I didn't realise that I do now, I've not walked around this stretch for a little bit, is there's actually a golf range here. And the nets you can see there, they're not exactly that high, and you do get the odd golf ball coming over across the road, so we'll have to watch out for that. And I think if I look, probably won't be able to see it through the netting. But let me just come back a little bit. Over there, if I zoom in, we've got a male pheasant, a female pheasant, we've got pigeons, we've got rabbits, all risking their lives with golf balls coming overhead. So, good luck with that one, guys. Lovely sunny evening. Cracking. Look at that sunset. See you on the next one. See you, Lose.